Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a while, so thanks for your patience for video. And this video is going to be on procrastination, a common theme that we all struggle with. And just a reminder, if you want to get effective and affordable coaching, and it really works, it's very empowering to have somebody hold you accountable, encourage you, motivate you, and give you the proper techniques in which to create the life that you want, to create habits, discipline, and just covers a wide range of areas. Shoot me an email. It's in the description. So procrastination, obviously, in coaching is a big issue that comes up frequently in everybody's lives. And one of the things that we might read books and hear other people give advice, or have, read a website, 7 ways to eliminate procrastination. The important thing is to keep it simple. What happens when we procrastinate is it triggers a stress response. So if we have a big paper due, a big project, or we're going to paint the house, or something big or overwhelming, or even small stuff, just taking care of basic chores, or running errands, or taking care of tasks. Our brain doesn't like to be in a state of stress, and our brain is the primitive part of our brain is very short-term focused. So when we get in a state of stress, what the brain is most concerned about is getting rid of that anxiety and stress, avoidance. And it will, over time, learn to anchor certain behavioral patterns that will help you to minimize the stress, and it's like taking an aspirin. So when you get stressed, there's something that you want to do, you don't really want to do, there's a lot of resistance, then you'll go to, for my clients, they go on the internet, some people will go shopping, some people sex, food is a big one, alcohol, drinks, TV, binge watching, Netflix, and all these things. So our brain learns what we need to do in order to get rid of the stress. And it just becomes robotic. We get triggered, have stress, we have the engage in whatever it is that we think will eliminate our stress, and which it does temporarily. And then we feel that temporary relief. And then we just create that cycle over and over. The problem is it's pain, like paying for things on a credit card. You make the payment, and the interest is going to kick you in the butt. So whatever you're procrastinating, you might have that temporary relief, but it's accumulating interest, and the anxiety is going to get worse and worse and worse. And then people will just amplify their stress-relieving behaviors. So what we want to do is, one, it's called clearing the path. Whatever it is that you're having to do, make it as easy and simple as possible. Clear the path. For example, if you have a gym goal, to have your clothes ready the night before, have your water bottle, bring that stuff to work, maybe even change towards the end of the day, so you go straight, you don't go home, you go straight from the gym home. The other approach that is really effective is when we look at tasks or unpleasant things we want to do, we're looking at the whole enchilada. We're looking at the whole elephant. What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Sorry for those vegetarians, but you get the idea. It's just too overwhelming, and the brain shuts down and goes to that fight, flight, or freeze response. And what we want to do is learn the way we best get things done, best get momentum. The challenging part is like trying to roll a big boulder. You're trying to roll a big boulder, and it takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort to get that thing moving. But once you get it moving, its momentum carries itself. And so with procrastination, the hardest part is just getting started. It's amazing how disciplined and how effective you can be just by getting started. So I call this the one dish approach. The one dish approach is when there are a lot of dishes in the sink, and there's pots and pans, and I just finished dinner, I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not feel like cooking. Excuse me, I don't feel like washing dishes. Just have no energy, especially after you eat, you're even more tired. So then I'll tell myself I'm going to wash one dish. That's it. I'm just going to wash one dish. And that allows me to bypass the brain's natural aversion to a task that seems overwhelming. So I'll start the one dish, and I'd say probably about 70–80% of the time I end up washing all the dishes. Another 10–15% of the time I end up washing maybe a third of the dishes, and maybe 5 to 10% of the time, I know those numbers don't add up exactly, but you get the idea, 5 to 10% of the time I'll just wash the one dish. But it's important to give yourself that permission to wash only the one dish. Now, my personality type, I like to chip away at things. Like if you're chopping down a tree, I like to, I'm more this big, huge, humongous tree that's going to take hours and hours to chop down. I prefer just to chop down maybe 10–15 minutes per day, and then over time I'll gradually reach the goal of chopping down the tree. And sorry for you environmentalists, but you get the idea. So what we want to do is you want to ask yourself, what type of personality are you? Are you a person that does much better chopping it away? And for a lot of my clients, that is the way to go. Just chip away at the goal. You could put it on a to-do list, and you could just have it come up, every day, every other day. And some days you might work 5 minutes on it. Some days you might work 10. Some days you might work a half hour. Brian Tracy talks about, he's a motivational self-development speaker. He says you can write a whole book in 15 minutes a day within a year. You have 300, if you write one page, 15 minutes a day, that's 365 pages. But you get the idea. What we do is we just get too overwhelmed. And when we're overwhelmed, we're going to shut down. So chipping away at it is really the way to go. Another thing is finding ways to make the goal or the task more palatable. So for example, let's say you have to simplify and clear out the clutter in your apartment or your house, and it's not something that you really enjoy to do. Find another partner, and you could Skype with them, and you Skype and you talk with them, and you go and you get it done together and give each other moral support and encouragement. Another thing to do, listen to music. Sometimes listening, if it's not a mentally intensive task, listening to music, really upbeat music that gets your energy going, will be a big help in overcoming a difficult task. Other things, I'll put on Netflix or watch something while I'm doing the task if it's not labor intensive. So that's one way, just chipping away little steps, and then you'll be amazed how much you're able to accomplish if you stay consistent with the task. So the focus is consistency and not quantity. You'd be amazed what you can accomplish just through consistency. And some other people, they like to get in the zone. So if that doesn't appeal to you, then you find a way to get in that zone and look at getting your energy levels up. There's so many factors that will lead to procrastination. So if you're not sleeping well, if you're not eating right, if you're not exercising, you're not drinking enough water, you're not getting enough sun, if you're not getting outside enough, it's going to lead to procrastination. So procrastination is the symptom. Try to figure out what the cause is. And it may be even deeper than that. I have some clients that are convinced themselves that they want to accomplish a huge goal. And they're working hard, but something seems to be blocking them. Something they just seem to be struggling. And through the coaching process, we uncover that it's not something that they're really fully committed to, or they don't see the reward in it, that it's worth all the effort and sacrifice. It's what I call like a wish list goal or a wish list task. Another thing that's very helpful is to track. It's great to be able to journal or diary, write a journal and track and see when you're feeling the procrastination strongest. Try to track back, see what's going on. Is it the time of day? Some people, I'm an early morning person. I get so much done early in the morning. Some people are, middle, later in the day. So find out and work within your rhythms and try to have that focus. Other people, they're distracted. If you're distracted and interrupted, you're going to have to expend more energy in order to get the task and job done. So you want to minimize distractions. I have this little I can't show it to you now, but I have this little headset, and so it turns red. It has a little light. It's the Jabra headset, and it has a little light that turns red. It means don't bother me. I'm in the zone. And so, letting people around you to know not to bother you, because you burn a lot of mental energy when you're shifting focus from one thing to another. So just making sure that you're able to stay focused. Another big thing is getting out of your place, getting out of your apartment, getting out of your home. Our home and our apartments are for relaxation, for eating, relaxing, family time. And there's too many temptations, there's too many triggers. So getting out and going to an office space, or going to a restaurant or a coffee shop or a co-working place, just to get yourself out of the house, even going to a park or somewhere in nature, it's amazing. A library, you'll be amazed how much more productive. With my clients, they're probably double or triple if not more, their productivity rate just by simply following that as a getting out of the house. The other thing is, I'm giving you there's a lot of stuff here, so hopefully you're writing these things down, and just start with one of these suggestions at a time. Another good thing to do is to create a routine and a habit, so things are automatic. What happens when you leave a goal open or a task open and say, okay, at some point this week I'm gonna go to the gym, or at some point this week I'm gonna work on my project, or do something with the house. Or go to the dentist or something. Well, dentist is a little bit different, but you get the idea. So you want to have set days, set times. So first thing when you wake up, you wash your face off and you go do a 15-minute walk or something like that. And you create this routine. On Tuesdays and Thursdays is the days that I study. And whatever it is that you have to do, you make it set days. And this way the monkey won't try to trick you. And the monkey lies to you. So you want to be aware. The monkey's famous lies, we'll do it tomorrow. And, oh, you deserve a rest. You deserve a break. So you're just mindful of that voice and that energy. Okay, I think that about covers it. The most effective thing to do that I found with my clients and myself is really just to start that one dish approach to life, because things are always so much worse in our mind than in the reality. And that dread and that anticipation of not wanting to do something creates more suffering than just rolling up your sleeves and getting started on it. So try the chipping away. Again, if you want some coaching and some support, and we all need that support, shoot me an email. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your comments and likes, and until next time. Bye-bye.